Greetings, PCGen enthusiasts. This is Andrew Maitland with the PCGen project, coming at you with a kind of a Q&A session today. Yesterday I was asked how we did the Unchained setup. People were looking in our in development, in progress, experimental section, and we're like, there's two different ways going on in here. How do we do it? So I'm coming here to kind of, illustrate how we actually ended up doing it. I have actually set up the Unchained Summoner. A lot of people, when they started doing this, they did it the old-fashioned way. So when they put it together, they went, hey, let's do the Unchained Barbarian first. So this is our typical class setup. However, that's not really going to work in our case because you can't have Unchained Barbarian taking levels in Barbarian at this time. So this kind of method really wasn't going to work out for us. So you're not going to see a class file here. What ended up happening is I went here into the class file for Summoner, right? So Summoner, as you'll notice, only has one ability. That's a new category. I put ability class Summoner. The rest of the classes, you'll notice, have multiple abilities and their class features, and then the archetype swap switch here. So if they're not allowed to have touch spells or they're not allowed to have a familiar, all that is right here. So for the Summoner, had to approach this a little bit differently. There's also a prestige class that allows you to change what progressions you get. So it was a kind of a outside the box thinking on the publisher, and as always, we got to scramble and come up with a solution that's going to work. So we have our Summoner here, which correlates to Summoner right there. And there's our category class, and then I gave it a new definition. Summoner class feature progression is what CFP stands for, and level. And then this is tied to the Summoner's level. I could have probably just tied that to the Summoner LVL and be done with it, but for prototypes, always on the cutting edge. So, gave the standard Summoner all that fun stuff. Gave it the Summoner archetype, told it grant the archetype Summoner placeholder, just to kind of clean up things. I know Tom Parker is not big on us using the default for every little thing, so trying to pull back a little bit, make it easier. And I apologize, my throat does not want to cooperate with me today. So with this Summoner, this actually bonuses a pool. See if I can actually find that. There we are. The pool Summoner class selection. So this puts in 1, and then I have my standard here. So Summoner standard class. So when you add a Summoner now, you'll be asked to choose between standard, and if you have the Unchained Pathfinder loaded, you also get the Unchained option. So this has a cost of 1, and this is how we're selecting them, the Summoner class selection. I put it under the class category just to make it easier on me. And then the class stuff comes in here. So these are the class skills. So I put this all on the standard line and not the basic, because if the class skills are changed between the two variants, we want to make it easy on ourselves. Alright. And then I set this up right here exactly the same as if you were looking at it in here. So same setup. Make it easy for everyone to kind of follow along. So instead of having a number here, the number's back here. So Summoner class feature progression level 1. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, etc. And then the class feature itself. This is tied to this. So this is the Summoner standard class, and I'm just modifying this so the layout is nicer. I could put this all on one line, but it's a little bit easier to read it when we have it in this format. So if you look at the Pathfinder, or Pathfinder Unchained, here's the Unchained version right here. Summoner, Unchained class, same selection, and then I tagged it as a Summoner alternative. And then exact same format. So we have our ability calls to our class features, change the class features to use the Unchained Summoner name, redid all these just to make sure the wording fit, and it makes it a lot easier. So I actually put these features down here below here. And as you can see, the same exact progression and the same exact archetypes, because I've been informed that a Unchained version can take archetypes. So this was a lot easier to implement this way than setting up a secondary class or doing the archetype kills that and switches that out, and then we wouldn't be able to use the archetype system. So this is the reasoning behind that. And also with the class feature progression, say I want to give myself, I don't know, be crazy and be able to take extra classes through prestige classes, I can grant myself the Unchained Summoner class ability and progress the variable here, and now I can have all the Unchained Summoner stuff I want. Or if I really want it, I could just grant it at a specific rate. But the concept is still the same. Now I can control when a class feature is granted without having to take the physical class, as it were. So that was kind of the reasoning behind how we set this up, and why pretty much all the classes are going to start migrating to this, so we can support that one-off prestige class that does that type of thing. But so that is how the Unchained Summoner set up. All the rest of the classes should follow suit. It should be the exact same model here. Very basic premise and concept model. It's just instead of everything being, here in a class, it's all tackled here in one master grab all category ability, and then just a lot of prerequisites that control when things are granted, and go from there. Alright, well, I think that covers the Unchained Summoner and how the Unchained classes are going to come together. Hope this was informative for you. Until next time.